Hello, guys. I am very thrilled today. I am joined by Daniel, who is the co founder of Unsloth AI, which is a truly groundbreaking platform specializing in accelerating LLM training and fine tuning. I was one of the few people who started using Unsloth few months back. I didn't know Daniel. I didn't know that he was based in city where I am. And with hand on my heart, I can tell you guys that I loved Unsloth from the day one. The reason being, not just because I'm interviewing Daniel and he's sitting with me. Really, truthfully, the reason why I loved Unsloth for fine tuning was that it was so easy, and for mere mortals like me, I'm not an machine learning guru, but Daniel has put in free Colab notebooks, which you can run with the free T4 GPU in Google Colab after signing up, free of charge. So you can learn fine tuning without spending a dime with the help of Unsloth. How cool is that? You don't have to, run for Nvidia GPU. You don't have to spend you don't have to sell your left kidney to get the GPUs and stuff. You can do it for free, courtesy of Daniel and his brother. I think his name is Michael, if I'm right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So, with a background in optimizing algorithms and a track record of contributing to open source projects, Daniel's expertise is driving advancement in AI and machine learning efficiency. So, we are so lucky to have him today before he becomes too famous and too busy to get time for us. Let's take advantage of this occasion and let's try to learn few things about him. So let's delve into our conversation with Daniel to explore the innovative work happening at Unsloth and whatever he's doing. So Daniel, first, thank you so much, and really glad to have you here. What inspired you and your brother, of course, to start Unsloth AI, and what motivated your journey into LLM training and fine tuning?
So I think so for first I want to thank you for being an avid Unsloth user, and I want to thank the entire community. It means a lot to us. So super appreciate everyone. I think we started Unsloth last October-ish. There was a competition called the LLM Efficiency Challenge from Europe's, and the challenge was you have 1 day to run one GPU on one language model, and you want to there's a leaderboard of who gets the highest accuracy and stuff. I kind of diverged, and instead we focused on we have very bad GPUs. I actually don't have a GPU. I just use Colab and Kaggle. And so I was thinking why is the T4 so slow? This is horrible to train, and it sometimes doesn't even fit. You can't train 13 billion models. It just cannot fit. So we focused on optimizing transformers, optimizing Llama. That was our first goal, and then we randomly managed to make it 2 times faster and reduce memory usage by 50%. And so it was kind of just a project that we did, and we just launched it in December. So we did not expect it to be popular, I guess. I'm very happy that people love Unsloth. So thanks to everyone in the community. And so we kind of it was just a side project that we did, and we So I'm just doing this with my brother currently. So that's kind of how it started. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So, what is your background in AI? How did you get started in this AI?
So I studied laws and actuarial science in UNSW. I don't think so. Yeah, it's a uni in New South Wales. Yeah, but I'm not sure if
Yeah.
other people know, but I transferred on the first year to maths and computer science. So data science. There was a new degree called data science, so I just transferred into that. I actually have a prediction background. I used to help the government predict Zika virus outbreaks, rainfall. So I have a financial background as well. But actually, so I used to work for Nvidia. So I worked for the 1.5 years. My goal was to optimize algorithms as well for GPUs. So I made TSNE, a data visualization algorithm, 2,000 times faster. I made randomized SVD faster, and some just across the Nvidia stack, some small things everywhere. So I have an optimization background. I also have another package called Hyperlearn, another open source package that's used by NASA, Microsoft, Facebook engineers, and then Unsloth. So I do have optimization background. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. You have mentioned utilizing software and mathematical tricks without approximation. Can you delve deeper into some of those techniques, please?
Yeah. So in the open source, I think the biggest question I always get is how can we make it faster with less memory usage and there's no accuracy degradation. Like, how is this even possible? So I think like from optimization, like from all the stuff that we did at Nvidia, from all the stuff that we did, the biggest takeaway is you must reduce data movement, and you must like do special bracketed like matrix multiplication. This is all in the open source. So like depending on actually how you multiply matrices in a like A times B times C, you can bracket it correctly, and you can actually reduce flops. So we actually reduce operations to get to the same answer. For example, instead of doing, I'll give you like an example. Instead of doing 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? Instead of doing that, you can just compute this on the fly and just do it, and then just like, your result will be there. So that's like one of the optimization tricks. We have like tons of optimization tricks. And yeah, so there's no approximations we do at all.
Sure.
We just do like, we derive all the back propagation steps by hand. We do, every single step that we do, we have to derive the derivatives. So we have like a custom autograd engine. And so like that's kind of like where the most speed ups come from. Yeah.
Sure. So that is awesome. Now, one of the reasons why I like Unsloth a lot, and I get a lot of good feedback on the videos which I have done on the fine tuning on Unsloth is the accessibility and scalability without much cost. Because what you guys have done is unintentionally, it seems that you have made AI available to everyone out there, which is, I think, a great service. Um, so, how do you anticipate that Unsloth and projects like Unsloth are going to impact this accessibility and scalability of machine learning in the coming days?
That's a great question. So I think the original goal with my brother was to make AI more accessible to everyone. So I'm very glad this is actually working. So I think the biggest issue is models are getting larger and larger and larger. And some, there are some players like, thankfully Meta, with Llama, they're going to train like Llama 3, maybe like release June or sometime. So like thankfully for these organizations, they're going to release like free models. So that's very good on them. So like I think the biggest problem is when models get larger and larger, the RAM usage on like your small devices will be more problematic, right? It won't fit on an 8 GPU card, right? It won't fit on a 24 GPU card. And that's why I think Unsloth's biggest advantage is our memory reduction, right? It's not actually the speed. It's our 70% memory reduction, or 80% memory reductions, which allow you to fit these on your cards with no speed detriment. And so like I think that's the memory reduction is the most important. And so like we're going to be continuously releasing more features to make it more accessible to everyone. It'll be all part of our open source project, and I hope AI will be accessible to everyone. That's our goal, to make it accessible to everyone. Yeah.
Great stuff. So you have mentioned Nvidia quite a few times, and that is these days that is like a holy grail. Everyone wants to work at Nvidia. Reflecting on your time at Nvidia, could you discuss your contribution to optimizing algos, resolving bugs, and how is the working lifestyle there?
I think Nvidia was a great place to work at. The organization is very like a flat structure, and they value meritocracy, and they value contributions to each engineer. So I really like Nvidia's working place, and like they're very nice people. I think in terms of I think my role at Nvidia was to optimize algorithms. So I was part of something called the QML team under Rapids. The goal, so we did like machine learning optimization. How do we make like linear regression faster? How do we make logistic regression faster? These are like old, like people still use them, but like they're a bit like old style machine learning problems, but like they're still useful. Like randomized SVD is still very, very powerful. There's a new method called Galore for pre-training and fine tuning, and you can use randomized SVD to make it faster. So I just made like TSNE, which is like a data visualization algorithm. You have like lots and lots of data, you want to visualize it. I just made that like 2,000 times faster for the GPU. Randomized SVDs faster. I had like some other contributions, across the different algorithms. Yeah, so that's kind of my contributions. Yeah.
Got it. And you have also collaborated with PyTorch, IBM, Intel, and Hugging Face. Would you like to shed some light on those collaboration? What did you do with those, especially with Hugging Face?
Yeah, so Hugging Face was very nice. Like, I think they also discovered Unsloth around January sometime. And so we did like a partnership with them, and we they share like, we're in the Hugging Face documentation. So if you use Unsloth, we're directly inside, they recommend to use Unsloth if you're stuck on speed and memory issues. And so we did a fantastic collaboration with them. Shout out to like Yones and Arthur from Hugging Face, like, thanks to both of them for helping us. And we also, like, we push like some feature requests. We push some like bug fixes. Like, for example, Gemma bugs. A few weeks ago, Google released a model called Gemma, 6 trillion tokens. We fixed like 8 bugs across like many implementations. So we collaborated with Hugging Face. We collaborated with the Google team. We collaborated with like other people to fix the Google Gemma bugs. So we're like it's not just Unsloth. Essentially, when we like port models to Unsloth, make it faster, we collaborate with everyone else across the ecosystem to make AI more accessible. Yeah.
Has any big public cloud provider reached out to you for collaboration, like AWS, Google Cloud, Alibaba, or any one of them?
So we have AWS. I'm talking with them about like some sort of like cloud type. Like, can we offer Unsloth on the cloud and provide more accessible AI to everyone? I'm talking with like Intel. So Intel, their GPUs are actually very powerful. So we're trying to collaborate with them to make Unsloth available on Intel GPUs. And so like, yeah, we're collaborating with many people across the ecosystem. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. You also mentioned Hyperlearn, which is a previous project of yours before Unsloth, I guess. Do you want to introduce us to Hyperlearn? What exactly it does?
Yeah, so Hyperlearn was an old project which made machine learning faster. The goal was, can we make like each machine learning algorithm? There's like 50 different like algorithms, linear regression, logistic regression, clustering, all of these, like, people still use them, but like they're less popular than like language models now. But so I used to like optimize all of them. And so Hyperlearn was a package which like optimized machine learning algorithms with also no accuracy loss. So I think the key takeaway is whenever I do optimization, there must be no accuracy loss, right? We don't do approximations or like some special tricks. It's mainly hardware optimization, data optimization, and math tricks. So by using math tricks, we can like make it faster. I think linear regression, if I remember, was like 4 times faster or something. Eigenvalue decomposition is like 2 to 3 times faster. And there's like a whole swath of algorithms which were made faster with Hyperlearn.
Great stuff. I was going through your tweets and some of the LinkedIn stuff. I wasn't stalking you, but I was just trying to get some more data for this interview. I noticed that at few places you have mentioned a lot about your aspiration to be similar to what OpenAI is. How does Unsloth.ai differentiate itself while sharing a mission of advancing AI research like OpenAI?
That's a great question. I think OpenAI's goal is to reach AGI as soon as possible. And all the big players like Anthropic, OpenAI, all of them, they just want to get to AGI quicker. And their vision is like larger models, more data, using the Chinchilla scaling laws, and creating like huge models, GPT-5, 6, 7, whatever. Like that's their goal. I think our goal is different. Our vision is, can we like leverage smaller models, more efficient models, faster training methods, like optimization methods, with less resources, right? We don't want to like use like 100,000 H100s, right? Our goal is like, can we do this approach and reach like AGI for everyone, right? Like more effective AGI. Because if we're going to assume OpenAI is anyways going to do this, at least we need a counterbalance to them. And so our vision is, can we do this more effectively, more efficiently, and for everyone? So we have like a different viewpoint to OpenAI. Yeah.
Got it. What are the future plans for Unsloth? What do you see it happening in Unsloth in the next year?
Yeah. So currently we focus on like making fine tuning faster. Our goal is to make pre-training faster, inference faster. So we do have 2 times faster inference in Unsloth. Pre-training should be faster as well. So like we want to do the entire stack. But I think the biggest takeaway from Unsloth users is we also do data preparation. We do saving of the model. We do the entire process of language model training, right? So like we want to like make the process super easy for everyone. And so the goal is, can we turn our Colab notebook into one-click fine-tuning, right? So like for everyone, you just upload the data. We do all the data preparation. We do like everything for you. You don't need to do anything else, and we give you a model. And the goal is, can we convert this into a continuous learning chatbot for you? So like the goal is like on your computer with our fast algorithms, our memory reductions, can we give you a personalized chatbot which learns about you every single day, right? You can just leave it on the background and it's training. So that's kind of like the vision that we have. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, that is great. Now, one question here. For example, I'll give you a real world example. Let's say I have a PDF of 50 pages, or maybe let's say a text document of 50 pages. It's a free flowing text. Can, with the help of one sloth, can I convert that data to be fine-tuned ready? Is that possible now?
So I think, okay, so when you have like just text data, there are two different ways you can actually fine tune a model. The first one is called text completion, which is you directly shove the PDF inside the model, and it will just learn about the PDF. So once you write the PDF document, it can continue completing the PDF document. This is what's used at GPT Copilot. You write like some piece of code, and it can continue the code. But what we wanted to do is we want to convert it into like a question answer format, right? Can we extract questions from your PDF document? And can we create answers from the questions? And so this process is the most important. And so this is probably like some synthetic data approach using some other language model to create questions and answers. I think a very popular model is Technium's GenInstruct model. This can create questions from your data. And so once you actually have this approach done, you can create like a fine-tuned model on any data set, PDF document, Word document, legal documents, anything. But you need to have questions first. Yeah.
And can GenInstruct create the questions out of that data?
So GenInstruct should be able to create. So from what I understand, you can use GenInstruct. You can put like some text, and put it into GenInstruct. It can create, continuous. You can ask it to create, a continued novel or like a continued textbook. You can create synthetic data about this. I'm not sure if it's questions specifically. You can also like call, larger models to create questions. But I think the goal is, can we create questions on the fly, more efficiently? Not calling like GPT-4 or GPT-5. Yeah, that's the goal.
Awesome. Now, we have talked about AI enough. I'm more than sure your life doesn't revolve around AI exclusively. What do you do in your spare time?
Spare time,
Yeah.
programming. I think my favorite hobby is programming. So like if it's not like Unsloth work, I'm focused on optimizing any single other like software. I just like optimizations. That's kind of me. My brother is like more about he likes music. He listens to like tons of music. So that's him. But like, yeah, I guess for me it's just weird. Like it's just programming. Like if you like record my life, yeah, probably like programming. It's fun though. I think like it's very important for because it's fun for me. It's like a hobby, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like me, you live in Sydney. What do you like most about Sydney?
I think maybe my opinions are not good, but like I think after going to like some areas, I've only been to like some areas. And so like I think if you compare, I think Sydney is more, obviously the air is cleaner, the water is better, all of those important factors. I think the best thing about Sydney, I guess it's just livability, right? It's a very good place to live in. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably my bet. Yeah, I'm just trying to think about it, but I think Sydney is, it's one of the most livable cities, and I think it gets high marks for livability. Yeah.
Absolutely, totally agree with that. And there is no place like Sydney when it comes to livability. How is it like partnering in the business with your brother? Is he a techie like you?
Oh yeah, so like I do all the algorithms. My brother does the rest, website designing, product management, talking to users. So he is, I just do algorithms. And so the goal is can we make Unsloth self-sustaining, right? So we can't, open source is our, that's our goal, to make it more accessible, but we still need to make Unsloth self-sustaining. And so the goal is, can we turn this into a startup where we can our mission isn't to get profit. Our mission is to make algorithms more accessible to everyone. But we still need to be self-sustaining. And so that's we're trying to find ways to, can we get revenue from this side of things? Can we it's an ongoing project. Yeah.
What advice would you give to the people who are just starting out in this field?
I think you can use Unsloth's Colab notebooks. We have I think it's, so we describe, for Unsloth's Colab notebooks, we tell you how to do language model fine-tuning, training, data preparation. That's probably very useful currently. I think before, if Unsloth did not exist, our Colab notebooks did not exist, I would recommend people to listen to Andre Kapathi's lecture videos, CS231N, the Stanford courses, Andrew Ng's CS229 machine learning course on YouTube. Do not do the blue blackboard ones, the very old ones. Those are very maths heavy, but I highly recommend them. MIT OpenCourseWare, they're very good. Fast AI by Jeremy Howard, and his co-authors, they're very good courses. So there's a whole ton of courses online, and that's what I recommend people to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Daniel. It was a pleasure. And I will drop the link to Unsloth in video description. Plus, I will also put in your LinkedIn profile there so that if someone wants to reach out to you or Unsloth, they should be able to find it easily. But thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I think Sydney evening well spent for me. So thanks a lot.
No, thanks so much. Thanks so much for like hosting me, and thanks to the community again, and like thanks for all the Onslaught users. Much appreciated. Yeah.